Fuck it.
If it stops the stream, we'll get it going again.
Introducing
Keezy for Sheezy, Carver, just Chris. Here we go.
Says no data. Why? Oh, excellent connection. Yeah! We here, we live. Okay.
Boom, boom. How you guys doing? Hopefully.
Hey, a flawless start. Here we go. We're getting right into Gods of Evil Rise. My name is Kyle, a.k.a. Keezy, if you like, and this is my best friend.
And I'm Carver, y'all. How y'all doing? I'm glad you're here. The small amount of people that are here, very intimate. I'm glad to see that. I'm glad to, not be bombarded by Chris. Chris and more Chris.
Oh, yeah.
No, I love the man. I love Chris.
Of course.
And he's invited to any of these at any time if he wants to come. But,
But today, we actually didn't invite him. He's like, oh, no, fuck you guys.
Yeah, that's what he said. He told me. He texted me and said "fuck me," and then I texted you. And I said, "Did Chris text you and say fuck you?" I guess he did that to you too.
Yes, he did.
So separately texted us both and said, "Fuck you, I'm not coming."
But we love him.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining this interesting members only stream. We're going to. This will be live eventually for everybody to see. I think that's the way to go because I don't want people to miss the juiciness.
Well, no, not only that, but we're gonna ease our way into it. But yeah, I definitely want to add more to these. Do more things. I don't even give a shit if we fucking have games and little fun things we do here. We wear maybe we dress up. If we get Chris here, we dress up as say if we're doing an AXE album, we dress up as them, right? We all have masks.
We just
on
get
the
weird.
Time. We just act weird, weirder than usual, or no, not as weird as usual. We're
So we dial back the weirdness,
pulling it back,
which makes our show way more interesting.
Yeah.
But
no, this one's. A lot of these are gonna. We'll think of some stuff, but this is about music. Honestly, this is about really diving into the music for what I want to do.
Yeah, let's not get it twisted. Our show is not about beefing with other podcasts.
No.
It is about juggalo music.
Yes.
And that's exactly what this album is.
Yes. This fucking beautiful album.
Look at
it. It is a beautiful album. It's just, it got presented the way it should have been, I think, it was held off and it dropped and hopefully, I can imagine M&E is going to have this album. There's nothing they can do about it, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah. I did. Somebody in one of Bill's Whatnots, and you'll probably hear me say that a lot because that's all I've been doing is watching Bill's Whatnots every time he goes live. But asked him, they asked him something. Hold on. Oh, I lost my train of thought there. Fuck. What were you just talking about?
They asked him about the album? About the album being on M&E?
Yeah, well, we all know that. They asked about vinyls. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
And he said, we'd get some if they weren't so fucking expensive.
Damn.
Which leads me to believe that M&E don't want to front the money for the vinyls.
Yeah. Fuck.
So that means we very well may not get a Gods of Evil Rise vinyl.
That sucks.
That does suck.
Because I would definitely buy that.
Absolutely, that'd be a day one purchase for me.
Absolutely buy that.
But
that sucks balls.
I know, man.
Yeah.
I want them sweet, sweet Mikey Clark tunes coming through.
And it would have been really dope if the actual vinyl had that graphic on it. They did a graphic vinyl.
Oh yeah, a little picture disc. That'd be pretty sweet.
They make vinyls for so much shit, but Twisted does have some cheap ass vinyls up, so maybe they're just not. They don't sell enough.
Maybe. But it's crazy. Twisted makes vinyls of every fucking album. Everyone gets vinyls if you're rolling with Twisted. So they made vinyls for Mausoleum and Almighty. I don't know if they made any for Necronomicon, but point is they were making them. Why not fucking make it for the album that we've all been waiting for?
Yeah, that's very weird. I don't get that.
Robbie said he thinks recouping the vinyl costs would keep them locked in with M&E longer. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
I can see that. So I guess maybe they're just fuck y'all. Let's get the fuck out. We're done.
Yeah. How long have they been on M&E?
Shit. The Almighty came out, I think, in 2018, if I'm not mistaken. So, I mean, it's been a while.
Yeah.
That's the point. And they've put out quite a bit of content, all things considered. Over the last couple of years, they haven't put out any solo shit other than Magic Zool Bus, but it's all in anticipation of this.
I mean, I think they've been a pretty good. Could you really ask for a better act on on your label? You know?
No, dude. Like they're fucking. I mean, they're giving. If they're on your label and they're releasing the shit they've been releasing, like you are extremely pleased with them.
Yeah,
for sure, right? Like how that's why it blows my mind is like how is Twisted gonna let them even like slip through their fingers like that?
I mean, essentially it's the same thing that happened to Twisted on Psychopathic, right? They just got too big for it. They didn't need them.
Yeah, I mean I think that's really what it boils down to is that LLE has kind of become its own beast at this point.
Yeah, they don't need them. They can get these producers without M&E. They can get these things done.
Now that said, would they have got Mikey Clark without M&E? I don't know. Probably not. Just having that connection, I think, is probably where you get that. But now that Mikey Clark knows, there's motherfuckers like Axe out there putting out the top quality shit that you've always been putting out. Hopefully that does light a fire under his ass, and we see more of him working with some of these other people, and you don't have to be with a M&E or Psychopathic to work with Mikey Clark. You know, that'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Mikey Clark has really been able to be the producer that he could have been for the underground, for this type of underground, right? I mean, obviously ICP and Twisted and Psychopathic and stuff he's done, but I mean, think about some other producers in the world of hip hop. They produce so many albums. I mean, some of these big producers, Timbaland, DJ Premier, fucking, even Dre and shit like that have done so many things with so many people, and it seems like Mikey Clark is that caliber of producer that has never really kind of done that. I mean, other than Kid Rock and some other people,
Yeah, I mean, Mikey Clark collects his all summer long checks every month, and he's like, this ain't so bad.
Yeah. He's
fine, I'm sure, but yeah, you're right. Like, I'm sure, like, as a musician, which, I would we consider Mikey Clark a musician?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I thought so. I just want to make sure I wasn't. I mean, you're more in tune with the musician's brain, so I want to make sure I wasn't offending anyone.
I think he's definitely a musician.
Yes. I mean,
more of a musician than he is like just a producer.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
And some of the greatest producers are that they're musicians. They understand music. They understand music theory. They understand. They don't just get on and make loops. Like so many other people do, so many other producers do. They just get on there and make loops, preset shit. They might do some samples, but Mikey Clark knows how to craft music from the ground up from many different genres because he understands it.
Yeah, he is a true artist.
Yeah,
I didn't mean to even imply that. I'm sorry, Mikey Clark. I know you're listening. I know you're a true artist. Like I said, I can't imagine like how hard it is to do like what Mikey Clark does. Like it's literally like magic to me,
Yeah.
So I don't want to take it away from. I think he's literally like a genius.
Yeah, there's a pulse. There's a certain pulse to Mikey Clark's music that you don't hear. That's why he's where he is. That's why he is who he is. You just don't hear it. I mean, so many people don't have it, and you can literally hear the pulse. I wish I could stem out some of the beats on this album and then stem out some of the older beats from he did in the past with ICP and show and kind of isolate these sounds and stuff that I'm talking about that he puts in this music. It truly is like a pulse. It's a
fingerprint.
It's a fingerprint. Yeah, it's what he does, and it's more than just a beat, you know what I mean? It's driving a feeling, and it's driving an entire cinematic experience.
Yeah, dude.
That's what you'll get with his type of music.
And that's what's great about an album like Gods of Evil Rise and is with when you have somebody like Mikey Clark, every single song sounds completely fucking different. Like there's literally no song on here you're going to confuse with another song.
Yeah, I will. I'll argue that a little bit.
Okay.
Cause what is it? It's Till We Meet and then Light Up My Life.
Okay.
How those two tracks go directly into each other.
Yeah.
At first I was kind of confused. I thought it was still
Okay.
Till We Meet when that next beat hits because they are very similar.
Okay.
Those two beats are similar, but
You have to point that out to
it's
me.
not like they sound exactly the same, but they do. I think that was purposely done. It has that pulse. Till We Meet ends and that pulse keeps going and right into the next track.
Yeah, and that's definitely like that's not an accident.
Yeah.
Right. So yes, to that point, yes, I feel that that they do mesh well together, but like the songs themselves, like all stand alone is my thing. Like they don't sound like each other. Like you're not gonna, like I said, you're not gonna. Oh, that song was on that. Chorus was from that song or whatever. Like that's how I feel at least. Like that said, I mean, I legitimately haven't. This CD has been in my CD player in my car since I got it, which has been 2-3 weeks ago or so. And I mean, I've been listening to it on my way to work, on my way home from work, in my car break, on my way to anything else. I've probably listened to the album like 50 or 60 times, probably. Who knows? But for that reason, maybe it's why it's so easy for me to make these things stand apart. But I did want to make a note or point out that I made a couple notes about a couple songs that have similarities to ICP songs too.
Yeah, and I did too. I did as well.
Oh, nice! It'll be interesting to see if we match those up.
I was going to say the beat the songs do stand apart, but they are glued together in a way that a score is glued together in a movie. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure.
Like in a movie, you're watching it.
Yes.
A fight scene pops up. You hear the score to that. Dramatic scene pops up.
Yeah.
The score is kind of a ride through the movie as well. And that was another kind of metaphor I was going to use to describe the way he does his music. And with this album alone, this is kind of like obviously a horror movie, but I would consider it even more of like a big blockbuster, like action horror. You know what I mean? Almost almost like a big kaiju movie or something along those lines. Like it's bigger than life.
Yeah, it's like an Armageddon movie.
Yeah, it's like a horror army, like hell rising out of the earth type of movie and shit. And then like you just see little like pockets of like things happening in this big overall arching like movie of what this that's kind of what this album. And ICP has done that type of shit too, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely.
Their entire career has been built off that. Theirs is more of like a, like a story of the week and, like a comedy horror thing,
Yeah.
almost like a
Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah, like a Tales from the Crypt type of thing. But this one encapsulates kind of like, and they're not, and I don't know. I'm not extremely familiar with everything they've done, but I don't think they have like an overarching
like lore
like quite as deep as ICP.
No, it's as far as I understand, it's literally just we're evil people that love dead shit. Masks,
so each album is kind of its own movie, and and
they're the serial killer bad guys of that movie.
Yeah, when we did Mausoleum, that's when I realized like how good they were. Right when we reviewed that album, and I was like, then I was like, okay, now I'm really excited for this Mikey Clark sound, and this one is, I mean, it's like a block. They just dropped a blockbuster, and it's got a great score to it.
Robbie said that he was dipping his toe when he did PDM with Prozac, but went right back to Psychopathic for half a decade. Sharif said PDM was whack, and this is way better. Obviously, this is way better than PDM. But that said, I am a PDM apologist. I like PDM, and I think it's cool. I wish Mikey Clark didn't rap so much on it, but
Okay, so that was the. I remember him doing shit with Prozac.
Yeah, it was Project Deadman.
Project Deadman, that's what it was.
Yeah.
I remember there was a lot of hype to that.
Yeah, the album like that they put out was pretty dope. Like
Yeah.
I liked it genuinely. Like
I remember
I could go back and listen to it right now and enjoy it.
I remember kind of liking it. I didn't sit with it back then.
I
but-
always felt and that some of the beats on that album to me, like I mean, in my head canon, I know this is just me making this shit up, but because that came out so soon after his part from Psychopathic in ICP, I've always felt like several of those beats were like meant to be like the sixth. You know, some of the beats on the sixth. That I don't know why. I feel like that's how that some of them are so good they could have been.
Yeah.
That's why I felt like that. I think, but
one thing
Prozac did an okay job with them. He's cool.
So one thing we should do is go through that album just to pick apart those beats.
Yeah, that'd be fun, man.
Yeah.
Oh, and look, Robbie said there's connective tissue and lore in the M&E albums from Zool. The intros from Church of Zool, Mausoleum, and Go are all connected. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't catch that. That's actually super interesting. I'm gonna go back and listen to them. They yeah, I don't even remember the intros for those. Well, Church of Zool, I know is them. They're like at a church or some shit and like giving whatever the sermon. But no, who cares?
Yeah, I would like to go and check those out, but I'm assuming they just their lore is not. I mean, who is going to spend the time to do what ICP did for build that kind of thing when you can just concentrate on album, concentrate on a single album.
I think Son is kind of doing that. I think that's kind of what he's trying to do with his lore. But yeah, I agree. Like they get they're allotted a lot more freedom when you're just like, we're always just serial killer guys that rap about killing and death and hell.
Yeah.
And then they can just plug and play from there. It doesn't have to be like an overarching theme. It's just like, yeah, we join our church, we're a cult where you wear a mask and kill people with us. It's fun. That's our whole fucking thing. It's great.
Now, from the beginning of Zool to now, did a lot of this stuff happen organically, or did they have like Zooligans and like all this shit from like the day one?
I wish I knew. I'm glad Robbie's here. Maybe he can school us. I mean, Robbie, don't. By the way, I love that you're here schooling us. Please keep doing it, all episode preferably, but don't feel obligated. We're not paying you to be here. You're not on the clock, so. You don't have to do the work, but you're so knowledgeable. I do sincerely appreciate everything you could tell us, because we all know that we're pretty new to this. I've been diving in head first into this Zool shit, and I honestly haven't felt like this about an artist in a long time. Like it's really like got a hold of me, but yeah, I'm still pretty fresh. Like I don't know all the lyrics. I don't know all the lore. I don't know all the backstory. I'm still. Picking it up as I go along,
and I'm coming at it from definitely liking the music, for what it is. Just really liking the music, but also coming at it from an angle of comparison to what we always have done, which was we compared things to the classic first deck thing. And I know that not every artist is even trying to, not every artist in this underground is trying to be like ICP or trying to craft something like what they've done.
Yeah.
But, Zool does seem like they are.
Yeah.
That they're trying to craft a sound and a feel that, ICP did, but at the same time being professional about it, and not just not giving you the member berries.
Yes.
Remember this? Remember, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like they're doing their own thing. They're doing what they do, and somebody listening to them that never listened to ICP would it'd be something completely different.
Yeah.
Somebody popping this in who had listened to ICP, they might go, "Oh, these people kind of sound like ICP." Maybe never even knew about them,
sure.
right? So you're not hearing Juggalo shit in this stuff.
No, like when you listen to Zool, like, and this is something I've found to appreciate, is like I don't hear people that are like trying to write good songs and trying to be good rappers, and I don't hear I don't hear a whole lot of trying, but I hear a lot of fucking doing. They're confident.
Yeah.
They know their voices. They know the shit that they can rap about. They know the themes that they can go with and make sound dope, and the little inflections they do with their voices and all that shit. They're tuned in to to their voices, and that comes across. And to me, like that, like you may not like pick up on that as a thing, but like I think that might be like the extra oomph that's kind of pushing them over the edge.
I absolutely pick up on that because sometimes less is more. Like I don't listen to them and go, oh man, these are incredible fucking MCs, incredible rappers.
Yeah, sure.
Now, don't get me wrong. There's some great verses on here where like I'm hearing it and I'm going, damn, the way they flipped that fucking wordplay and they did that. That's some dope ass MCing. But that's not what I'm getting out of this shit. I'm getting out of like what you just said, like a rate of doing things that's just the execution is perfect, you know, and they're not worried about it. I almost compare it to wrestling. Like nowadays, modern wrestling is less storylines, less characters. It's more of like flipping around in the ring and trying to put on these insane matches that like just are acrobatic.
Yeah, and that's cool in its own right.
It's cool in its own right, but like
we want Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, but like exactly what some of the best stuff was, like all the way to the Attitude Era, it was larger than life, over the top characters,
silly, goofy, like interesting,
different. Even if it was like Undertaker, they're wicked, but they knew what they were doing. They concentrated on their characters. They didn't try to be like everybody else on the roster.
Yes.
They did what they did, and every character counted and was implemented into the story and stuff like that. And that's kind of what I see with this.
Yeah.
They're not flipping and flopping in the fucking ring trying to put on 1,000,000 miles per hour fucking match to make you go, oh, my God, look what this is awesome. Yeah. They're slowing it down. They're taking you through a story. And
they're making all the bars count. For the most part, like of course, you tell stories, you're gonna have throwaway bars and stuff. But my point is, it's very like, there's no like, it's not just bullshit. Like there's no like half-assed, nothing half-assed on here.
No,
nothing.
I mean, you'll hear some lines that's just like it sounds like nothing at first, but then like when you connect it to what they said the last bar and then coming up, it's like it's like okay, you're moving the story along, you're moving the song along, and you don't need to do anything. You don't need to do much more right in that spot. So it's just like we can go into the weeds of like why rapping like that counts, and you don't need to have. You don't need to have this crazy fucking bar and metaphor for every single thing.
Yep.
Just get, the song as a whole on this album is what counts. It's like the entire thing as a whole.
Yeah. So it's like, I would love to see like their notes, like or been in the room, a fly on the wall when they were presenting some of these songs to each other and stuff. I would just like to know how they build upon the ideas and share their verses with each other and stuff. 'Cause like nobody's stepping on any toes. Everybody has their own, like they all execute their part like perfectly, like there's no like verses that are like, well, Billy and Joe killed on this, but like Lee was, I don't know what the fuck he did on that. He's like, he didn't even understand the assignment. Like, no, they all understood the fucking assignment on every song. It rules.
Yeah. Every song they're completely fucking tuned into it. Like an instrument, completely tuned in. Not one string is out of tune or flat or sharp. Like everything's perfectly the way it needs to be. And I mean, I appreciate that type of shit. I appreciate what it takes to craft something like that.
Yeah, dude. This is a piece of art that people spent a lot of fucking time on. I'm going to read a couple of comments since there's not much to read. Sharif said MEC rapped on PDM. Yes. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think he rapped on a lot of the songs, if not all of them. He was just like the second guy in the group. I mean, I could be wrong. It's been a while since I listened.
I didn't know that either. I thought that was just it was just like a Prozac project with Mikey Clark. He was like the DJ and Prozac was the rapper.
No, I think he raps on multiple songs. Prove me wrong. But Robbie said that the intro. Oh, he said Church Azul was the setting. Mausoleum, the townspeople burned down the church and then kill Zul, and this one starts with their revenge.
Okay. So it is a slight bit of lore.
Yeah, I didn't catch it as like a revenge. I looked at it as like this is like a new movie, and the new movie starts with fucking hell breaking loose. That's essentially like how I was experiencing it. But I like the connective tissue. That's very dope.
The Church of Soul was a setting. It was kind of like their cultic setting.
Yeah.
Mausoleum. The townspeople burned down the church and kill Zul, and then this is okay, man.
I don't have to go back and listen to Mausoleum.
That's actually really cool.
That's dope as fuck.
Yeah.
All right, man. You want to listen to the album?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna start the intro. I'm gonna go. Don't kill me. I'm gonna go tinker with the camera because I feel like it's blurry. Don't you?
Yeah, it was.
All
After it took his shit and came back on, it was blurry.
While the intro plays, you can talk or whatever. I'm just for like 10 seconds. I'm gonna go fiddle with that.
Yep.
Here we go. Gods of Evil Rise.
Yeah, even from the intro.
Oh yeah, the intro comes. I mean, right out the gate, like we ain't fucking around. The intro was very reminiscent of an ICP intro.
Yeah, I mean, just like the music, their skits and intros and shit are very similar too. You know, crafting an experience that is a lot like an ICP album, but at the same time, not taking what ICP have done. So, yeah. And you do know. You fat piece. I mean, just shit like that is, you know. Yeah. I don't know, man. You're. Heavens to Betsy, no. Heavens to Betsy. I used to say that shit a lot because my grandma said that. Looks like it, yeah, actually looks a little clearer now. Huh.
I wrote down a note. It said, they might as well have said, come on, honey, I feel like dancing. You know what I mean? It's like, that's exactly what it reminded me of.
Yep.
What's that from, Malenko?
Yep.
Come on, honey, I feel like dancing.
Get on over here.
Turn that music on. That's exactly what I heard when I was first hearing this. I was like,
oh yeah, and
I wonder how much Mikey Clark had to do with that.
I mean, I don't. You know, it's hard to tell, but I'm sure the guys themselves have. You know, when they're doing an intro, that's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what anybody in this line of work is going to do,
That's
because
true.
that is the pinnacle of that's just the top tier way to do intros is characters, you know, make it sound like a movie.
Word.
All the sound effects, you know, you're hearing it play out.
Yeah. Oh, sorry we were so blurry for half the episode. We look great now, man.
Yeah, I just figured it was.
You look fucking great, dude.
Well, you look pretty damn good yourself, sir.
Thanks, man.
We try over here. We try. Oh my God, we try.
So right out the gate with Paint the Town Red, what do you think about this song?
I love this song. I mean, it's like an epic. I think the next one would be what we consider the Clowny Kicker.
I'd agree, yeah.
I think that's the next one.
Yeah,
but
this is almost like the intro song, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, like I don't know, what could we compare it to? Because early ICP albums, it was like an intro and then the Clowny Kicker, but then later on ICP would have a song before the Clowny Kicker.
Yeah.
I think Wraith maybe did that. The Shangri-La did that.
Yeah, because they would always be like, yeah, you're right.
Shangri-La had, what was that first song on Shangri-La? It was
Walk Into the Light.
Walk Into the Light, and
Yep.
then it was the next one, whatever the fuck it's called. It's not coming to my head.
Who gives a fuck? ICP?
Yeah, but that was definitely the Clowny Kicker on that album.
But yeah, Horns Over Halo is definitely like, yeah, I agree. I'd agree with that. It's like it pops it off, but
this is just to me, this song right here lays out the pulse.
Yeah.
The pulse of the album. Like, this is the heartbeat. This encapsulates the entire feeling of it all.
Yeah. That's a good assessment.
It's like
they all have like and all their verses are fucking around, but
Yeah.
it still sets the tone because they're all just like talking about how dope they are, how they're gonna kill you.
Think about it in a movie. Again, I always think about this shit as a cinematic experience. Think about in a movie when a movie's starting and it's not really giving you the story yet, but you start to see the scenes that the opening of the movie has like an epic score playing.
Yeah.
And it's showing you kind of like what you're about to get into.
Yeah.
And then after that kind of scene is done, then it takes you into like the beginning of the story.
This could almost be like a montage showing like all the hell breaking loose, and then once it's done, it's like, now I'll show you how we got there.
Yeah, show you how I got there. Think of Watchmen. Remember the opening of Watchmen? They had the times are changing, and it was all those like scenes and shit in the Watchmen, and then it opens up with the comedian scene of him getting beat up and thrown out the window and shit.
Yeah, it's been years.
Yeah, something like that. Go back on and watch The Watchmen, and there's other movies that do shit like that too. So this is the score. This is showing you like maybe the credits and kind of showing you the world that you're about to be put into.
Hey, whoop whoop, Scott. Thanks for joining us, homie. We see you.
Yeah, but man,
Sharif, we're not kissing. You do that before and after.
never on camera, but all the time off of camera. I don't know. They're paying. We might as well.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, if this is a paid one, fuck it.
Yeah, give us enough super chats, maybe.
OnlyFans. We're doing OnlyFans. Fucking Gods of Evil Rise, baby.
Man, did you think you were going to get a whole Mikey Clark epic like this so soon?
No, man.
I say so soon. Like, we've only been waiting on it for like 6 months, but
Yeah.
everybody's been waiting on this album for like years.
Yeah, how long has it been that they mentioned this album?
I think they posted a picture of them in the studio with Mikey Clark making this album in 2020.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sure a lot of to the hardcore Zooligan out there, I'm sure a lot of this kind of sounds maybe older.
I think people were like kind of saying that at the show, like
have their the raps have progressed, or maybe they sounded, kind of like how ICP, they sound different through the years. So
yeah, but like I'd be the wrong person to ask because I've been catching up on Zool, so all I've been doing is bouncing around listening to old Zool, a little bit older Zool, and to me, like, even their first album, Head of Horns, I mean, keeping it real, other than Gods of Evil Rise is my new favorite Al Azuli Lou album, but Head of Horns might have been my favorite. It's their first album, but it's so fucking dope.
Oh yeah,
it's as good as everything else they did after. It's crazy. I'm like, how's that your first? I mean, I know they were rapping before, but how's that your first effort and it's that fucking good, dude?
Now these guys are older, right?
I think they're like our age.
Our age?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if they put their first album out in 2018 on MNE, they would have been, if they would have been our age, they would have been in their 30s. So they've already been rapping. They've already hit.
Yeah.
They're already hit all those peaks and valleys.
Yeah.
So they've pretty much got it locked in what they sound like.
Yeah, that's true. They already got like their styles dialed in and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I can't imagine somebody listening to this album being like, that doesn't sound like new Zool. I really think you'd have to be an asshole to say some shit like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that said, like, I've listened. I mean, they've only had like a handful of songs come out in the past couple years. They're all just as good as this. So I don't know. They're good. They're good rappers. So this fucking album rules, and everything after's gonna rule. I don't know. I don't know what I'm getting at.
I was trying to think of one of the. Did you have any comparisons to this song?
Oh,
for like an ICP song?
I didn't have one for an ICP song, but I had this song keeps reminding me of a song.
What is it?
Bombs over Baghdad.
Bombs over Baghdad.
Bombs over Baghdad.
Yeah.
I just kept hearing that song right here. I love this fucking song, by the way. I rock the fuck out to this song. One of my favorite songs on here.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bombs over Baghdad.
Yeah, you don't like. This is definitely a Mikey Clark sound. Like I've heard this sound before, but I don't think I've heard it a lot. With I've heard these effects before.
You mean like the kind of electronic, like
yeah.
yeah. I would love to.
Like I wouldn't doubt it if Mikey Clark's used this type of thing, but maybe not on a Joker's card.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
we need somebody like Slug or somebody who's just like. So people, and you have an ear for it too. So I mean, you're doing a great job. But I need somebody who just has an ear, is able to like, and a autistic memory, to be able to be like, yes, that's the snare from a Southwest song.
Yeah, I mean, I would not doubt if Mike is used.
Dude, I bet Mustard knows. Mushy Mustard. That dude knows it all.
Yeah, we need to get him. Get him in, hip to this, and
Pick
let
his
us know.
brain. Let's see. Robbie's.
But I've heard this too. Dun, 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 dun. I mean, like another Mikey Clark sound.
Somebody up there must have got the leader back. Let's see what Robbie's saying. Sorry, I couldn't respond. The guy talking in the intro of Goer is the same guy talking about talking in the intro of Mausoleum, who burns the church. All right, love it. He said it's hard to tell if it's older because they've been waiting to drop new material until this drops. But I think technically Lost Lake Estates was recorded after Goer. Earliest Maniac stuff, which was their old name, is from 2002, 2003. Damn. So by the time they did Head of Horns in 2014, they were already polished. That makes a lot of sense.
For sure.
I mean, yeah, that's like the difference of fucking Wonderland to the Homage, you know?
Yeah, I mean, like they've already been. Yeah, I mean that's the ticket to this for like this underground. It's funny because you can come out and kind of blow up in the underground being in your fucking late 30s and 40s.
Yeah, it rules.
As to where, you know, most of the music game anywhere else is like you have to start as a young man. You have to start as a kid basically, and then maybe you'll hit a window where you're huge.
I mean, like ICP is the exception to the rule, you know. Like they were obviously kids when they fucking broke in.
Yep.
But
that's how it was with everything back then.
Maybe back then, like if you were older than that, they weren't even looking at you.
Yeah, for sure. No,
and you couldn't do it alone back then.
Yeah, that's how it just was back then. But now, since this world has been built for so long, you don't need to break in. You know, you can wait till you're polished.
Yeah.
In your 40s, get your gimmick down perfectly, have everything ready, and just be able to pitch it to someone.
Yeah.
You know, and if it's good enough, you'll do it.
This is one of my favorite verses on the album.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I love how Joe rides on this shit.
Yeah,
so dope.
Yeah, he killed that.
This
part.
song fucking rules, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it a lot, but this song's one of my favorite songs on the album. Like, there's like a Paint the Town Red, The Cleansing, and I think God Damage, to me, are like the title tracks of this album.
Yeah.
Like, this song is just laying it all out, like what the world's gonna look like, you know, now that the gods of evil rise. I mean, I love all the blood imagery, the drowning, the covered, and like, you can just see it. It's incredible. It's so good.
But like with a lot of the music on here, I've heard these things before for so many years.
The tropes.
The tropes of Mikey Clark's music that you hear. Like I've heard it. Like I hear the dun, 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 dun. I mean, I've heard that. You know, it's like watching a director.
What's it? Well, hold on,
it's like watching a director. Wait,
you unlocked something for me. Hold on. I was like, I have no pants. I have blam, bam, 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 bam. Might as well do masturbation. I'll
it could.
On.
Yeah, something. It could have been that. It could have been that.
You just did that.
I
don't even know what that's from. I can't think of it right now.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, it's like a director, man. Like the director uses different actors, but when you watch a very specific director's movie, you know it's them.
Yeah.
You know, and that's
Yeah.
what this is.
That's a great analogy. Mikey Clark literally is like the director of this album, you know? He's not the writer. He's not the actress. He is the fucking... He's literally the producer.
He's giving us the
he's also the director.
cinematography. He's giving us the look of like, you know a Kubrick movie. You know a fucking, what's his name? He did the Pulp Fiction and shit.
Tarantino.
Yeah, you know a Tarantino movie, how it looks.
We got to watch the video for this.
Yeah, now this beat right here,
Yeah.
I will say, is almost exactly matches up with Dead
Body Man?
No, Dead Pumpkins.
Dead Pumpkins. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't heard that. I heard somebody comparing it to Dead Body, or DC was comparing it to Dead Body Man. I think in subject matter, maybe.
It is more of, I would say, like a Dead Body Man as far as like where it would be in the catalog.
Yeah.
But the beat itself, and the pulse and the tone and some of the instruments used remind me of Dead Pumpkins. Which, if you want, we can pull that up too and kind of compare. Because I was actually going to try to do that.
Yeah, that'll be tight.
Get around to it, but
Definitely.
Yeah, just think about that. Trick or treat, bon appetit. All the
That's Mr. Rotten Treats, isn't it?
No, that's
Is that Dead Pumpkins? Okay, my bad. I confused them. Monster Maker.
But you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that's his signature. You know what I mean? That's his frequency he's putting in his music. He has done for fucking over 30 years now.
Yeah.
Or however long it's been. He's been doing this shit since the fucking 90s.
I love Billy's verse.
Yeah.
And with death I have a fascination. In fact, it ended all my past relations. That's when I knew dinner arrived. I ate a pregnant bitch, a kinder surprise. Ask if Bill care? No, that seals the deal. You use a wheelchair? Oh, that's wheels on
I like how he kicks it. Oh! I love that shit for some reason.
Eating human meat's a delicacy. Also a felony, you see.
Yeah, they gotta play the character. I mean, they're playing their characters.
Oh! That seals the deal. That part just gets me. I like it. Nobody does that kind of shit in their songs, dude.
Yeah. You know what I'd like to see them do eventually?
What?
Is take their mask, keep the masks, but make them more of prosthetics on their face.
Ooh.
So you see their faces more.
That would
their
be tight.
their facial features and who they are come out more, but they still have the They still have the look.
That would be tight.
You know, like Hollywood makeup when they would put on monsters and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
that'd be dope as fuck.
so it's not just a piece of rubber on their face, but it's actual prosthetics, so you can see everything moving. And
They should at least do like an album or something where like
Yeah.
that's the look, you know?
yeah,
That'd be dope.
legit, like spend some money and do some incredible prosthetics on their face.
Oh, I want to comment too. I overlooked the part during Horns Over Halos, but I laughed about even like I mentioned it to I think one of my daughters. They were in the car. I was like listening to. By the way, my daughter's like 12. I'm listening to Horns Over Halos. I'm like, how great was that? I'm like,
Oh my
and
God.
then like the part where Billy's like, he has his one verse. Sorry, I gotta turn this off so I can think. Where at the end of his verse, he's like, they should put me in one of those.
Yeah.
And I was like, I looked at her, I was like, imagine writing that. They should put me in one of those. I love it.
And a lot of that is just being able to feel that shit in the studio, you know.
Definitely.
But I mean, which it would be hard not to with that beat.
Yeah.
Go to that Dead Pumpkins beat.
Okay.
I don't know if there's an easy way where you can kind of go back and forth, but
I will warn you. Dead Pumpkins ruined our Yum Yum Bedlam episode.
Okay, yeah, never mind then.
I'll play a snippet, a quick low snippet. Deal?
Sure.
Deal? Okay.
Let's try it. Yeah, just
real low. All right. Till we meet. Let me try to rap till we
and
meet.
you'll hear some of the same kind of sounds in the background.
Brenda's in the. Carly is the curtain.
Bet you the main course. Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's the same tempo, bro. It's the same fucking tempo. You turned me up big time, I think.
I was turning everything up. Whoops.
Yeah.
I meant to be turning this up.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But anyway, we don't have to listen to it. But yeah, that is a very. I was gonna break it down and strip out some of the instruments, and really compare some, cross them over on each beat and shit,
Yeah.
and really do a comparison with that. But yeah, I think Dead Pumpkins Until We Meet. That's the comparison. Dead Body Man is more of, like I said, the placement of where the song would be in their catalog and kind of like the topic or the content of it. But
So Sharif said, let's see, this beat is how many times Redux? He was saying it was how many times, I think. Till we meet.
I mean, how many times is also a very good comparison.
Very similar. I realized while we were watching Till We Meet, we skipped over the Horns Over Halos video. I won't watch the whole thing, but I did want to just highlight it for a second, if that's all right. This video is tight as fuck, by the way. There he goes. This shit goes so hard. This song rules.
Yeah.
Whoops. All right. Moving on. All right. Next song. Light Up My Life. All right. So let's listen to the end of Till We Meet and see how it goes into Light Up My Life, since you did mention that. Hold on.
Yeah. And it kind of gives it that, and then that little pause.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
especially with the CD in the car, there is no pause. It's just right into it, and it's still got the the tempo. I mean, that's the same exact tempo as Till We Meet.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
The BPM.
Yeah.
That's not the phone. That's the wrong phone. I'll see if I had any notes.
A lot of guitars, a lot of guitars setting the mood, and then these slower tempo beats, like How Many Times, Dead Pumpkins, Dead Body Man, you know.
Yeah.
And Mikey Clark, as he went on through the catalog of ICP throughout the years, he started speeding up more.
Yeah.
Making faster beats based off like surfer beats, punk beats.
I think he was just kind of keeping up with the times. You know, new metal was becoming a thing. Rap rock was a cool thing.
Yeah.
He got kind of wrapped up in that shit.
And he does some of that on here, but a lot of these beats on here are very slow.
Yeah.
And sometimes those are the ones I like the best.
Oh yeah. This song does rule. I like it. But to me, this is one of the more forgettable songs on the album. I don't know. Like, I've listened to this song a bunch, and it's just like a pretty generic talking about enjoying murder.
Yeah.
You know, which I know we've made that. Let's talk about this. We've made that criticism about AXE in the past, where we've talked about how we couldn't get into them because it was a little almost too much wicked shit or too much horror, or there wasn't enough funny, or there wasn't enough whatever. But my point is, I mean, obviously I've changed my tune, but what do you think? Like, do you remember having those criticisms, and what do you think now?
I don't really remember, but what I think now is, I just like them. Obviously, I like the music, so that's the most important thing. Nobody will ever compare to the balance that ICP was able to have with horror and comedy, and like making these cinematic skits that sounded like movies, and I don't think anybody will ever be able to match that. So I don't think they are. I think they're doing their own thing, but yeah, they're leaning. I think they do lean more into the horror and it's fine. You know, it's almost like that side of ICP that they stuck to like that particular side of ICP, which was like the more wicked shit.
Sure.
You know?
But you know, like that said, like this song is an example of one. I think that while it is like dark and wicked, like I mean, like Joe's verse on this song, he literally ends it by talking about how he murdered a bitch and then dressed up in her clothes, and then he's like, put on her heels, he fell and he tripped. How the fuck you bitches walking all in this shit?
Yeah.
You know, that's like
Yeah.
straight up some ICP shit, right? Like he's making a joke at the end, self-deprecating, like right after he raped and murdered a woman. Which, by the way, they rape and murder all over this album. Keeping it real. Let's be honest, people that care about that. Okay.
Yep.
Joe just raped and murdered a lady in that last verse, for sure. He doesn't say the R word. Okay, anyways. But I don't know where else I was getting at. But I think they do some of that, though. Like, I've come around to believe, I think that while I did have this kind of misconception that they were just trying so hard to be so dark and dreary, I don't think that's the case. That was just wrong, you know? Like,
Yeah.
it was just me misunderstanding because I didn't fucking listen to their lyrics. I was just hearing the dark beats and hearing the chanting and the hooks and not really feeling like a spark of anything. But I feel like it's, you know, the veil has been lifted a little now. I'm able to kind of picking their voices out. I'm paying more attention to what they're saying.
Yeah.
And that definitely helps kind of feel their personalities and out, you know.
Yeah, I think they obviously they throw it all in there. They do throw it all in there. I think the balance, they've struck their own balance, and it's different from what like ICP did. It might be more closer to what Twisted did.
Yeah.
With like their balance of comedy and horror.
Sure.
But even that, I would say it's even more closely to like a Dark Lotus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To where their Dark Lotus had a lot of wicked and
like it's all dark themes.
Yeah, not near as many comedy type of songs and things, but there was still even in Dark Lotus there was still stuff in there.
Yeah.
In the early albums anyway. I don't know about, you know, as much as the later Dark Lotus albums.
Yeah, I mean it's not as much, but it's there some.
But yeah, I would say, you know, a more wicked sounding a more wicked side of ICP with, you know, obviously a closer a balance of how Twisted did it is kind of what I get from them.
Sure, I feel that.
And the reason why nobody will ever match the balance that ICP did with like comedy and horror rap, B-movie like horror comedy movie, is because ICP are clowns.
Yeah, dude, it's really that simple.
It's literally you're not a clown. You're a wicked monster that wears a mask. Like, you know, you can't be a clown like they can.
Yeah.
So that's just why it'll never be that.
Yeah, like they have their own niche, and now if you even try to get in it, you're just gonna look like an imposter.
Yeah.
So you unfortunately they got that. They got the lock on the horror comedy.
and I truly think that they are just that funny. You know, they've always been those guys.
Definitely, dude.
And everybody has a funny side to them, but there's just like that. That's literally ICP. That's those dudes.
Yeah.
So these guys, you know, so everybody else past that has just been their own you know, they've done their own thing and their own version of it. But you'll never be a clown. You'll just never be a fucking clown like them. So, and that's okay, you know.
Sharif said there's a lot of truth to that. The clown archetype gives you more freedom.
Yeah, but like I said, that's okay, because this album has plenty of little funny quips to it, and it takes you out of like just the complete darkness.
Oh, check it out! I listened to this song in a church.
Yeah, I saw this. Where were you at?
See, I was listening to Let It Burn. I was at World Harvest Church.
World Harvest?
Yeah,
you're legit at World Harvest?
Yeah. Listen to Let It Burn.
Why in the fuck were you at World Harvest?
That's where I go to church.
No, you don't. You actually go to World Harvest?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, man.
I didn't.
Is that
know
all right?
that. It's fine. I just didn't. I never ever thought I would see you.
Does that bother you?
No, it don't.
No,
Fuck 'em.
I'm just kidding. I don't go there. I was there for my daughter's graduation.
Oh, okay. This is just a graduation.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the only reason I would fucking step foot in that place.
Okay, I was about to say, what the fuck is? I mean, like, fine, sure, but
It was just like blowing your mind for a second. Like, wow, really? Okay. Like, by the way, what do you think of this song? This song reminds me of an ICP song. What do you think?
yeah, this reminds me of some shit off of Bang Pow Boom or Death Pop.
By the way, I love Lee Carver's verse. Let me get back up. I'm gonna show you how he starts it and point it out because it's a funny joke right off the bat. See, he says that he starts his verse by saying, "Swerve to miss a cat that popped up from the trash can."
Yeah.
But then he plows through everybody at the bus stop.
Yeah.
I love it. It's so funny, dude.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yep.
By the way, this song is so funny. Like and each verse is only like 4 bars.
Yeah.
It's an under 2-minute song or 2-minute song. It's just fun, fuck around.
Yeah,
you know.
they have. I mean, there's ICP's definitely done songs like this with Mikey Clark. Literally on Bang Pow Boom, there's a couple songs I think like this.
Oh yeah.
Where it's more of the fast surfer punk beat, like
Yes.
California style tempo.
This song reminds me of Alley Rat from The Tempest.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it has an Alley Rat feel for sure. That's a good pull.
Yeah, that's immediately what I heard the first
Yeah.
time I heard this song.
See,
That's Alley Rat.
I didn't think of much Tempest while I was thinking back on Mikey Clark's career with ICP, but yeah, Tempest might have a bunch of music on it that's comparable.
Yeah. Let's go. Let's check out.
Yeah, here I'm gonna walk over here to your CD rack real quick.
Yeah, please. This is Alley Rat.
Gang bang, pissed off, swang thang, hit toss, Southwest street hood, spit on, ripped off, no hoe, grow wing, no real, gold ring, lips swung.
I mean, this very to me like even tempo, everything's similar to Suicide Drive. Let me go back to that. Let me go back to Suicide Drive. All right, let's go back. When you play them back to back like that, not so much, but definitely has a similar like. There's something in there. It's like the twing, like there's something in there. Yeah. Sharif said. Let's see. He said, "Yeah, this is the fight. This is Fight Club off the J solo." Oh, let me listen to that. Yeah, I have it in there. It's at the very tippy top. The ICP order or albums are in chronological order. Fight Club. Oh yeah. Oh, look at you, you son of a gun. It's all right.
Well, I'm gonna get a towel for that.
It's all right. It's just water. There might be one over there somewhere. That orange one might. Let me see if I have it over here. Nope. See, that orange one's not over there anywhere. If not, you can go grab one. Okay. Oh yeah, that's it. That's the towel. Yeah, that's the orange towel. All right. Nevertheless, here's Fight Club. This is what Sharif keeps comparing it to.
This album produced by Mikey Clark?
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't think so. It's probably more likely it might be. Oh yeah, listen to that.
It's a good pull.
Yeah, that's very similar. That's a good pull. Wow, I haven't listened to that song enough to even have that in here.
I was thinking of Love off of Bang Pow Boom.
Oh yeah, let's check that out.
Love, think about love.
Yeah. See, that's definitely obviously Mikey Clark. Yeah, I mean he's definitely getting this a similar vibe. I'm picking.
That's not Love.
That's not.
No, that's Bang Pow Boom.
Oh yeah, I typed Love. Shit. I was like, oh, this is funky.
Yeah, but I mean that's a fucking incredible song.
Car waiting at the light. She looked right at me and I thought that I might.
It's that like
But then
chunky guitar.
Quickly took off. I ran in between the cars behind her, screaming for help. Opened the car door and yanked the seatbelt off some fat
Interesting,
kid,
interesting.
dropped his ass, jumped in his
Very interesting.
But yeah, that's what I would say the Suicide Drive is. It's that for the, you know, it's that.
I'm going on a suicide drive. Wind in my hair, I got a noggin full of sick shit. Only riding shotgun cause I brought one. Click, click. All you see is dust fly. As I zoom by, fire from a big fucking gun like I'm Doom Gun.
Yeah, my only complaint is I wish the song was longer. Actually, it doesn't overstay its welcome, so I do appreciate it for that. It's nice to have a nice, short, sweet song in the middle of the album. But man, this song rules. Sharif said the Shining solo was Mikey Clark.
Was it?
Wow, nice. I'll say, I do. I think I have that too. We could have looked that up too.
Oh, you got it. You got it physical over
I
there.
think I do. Yeah, I bought it at one of the last gatherings. I think. Man, I love Mikey Clark. You know, I was more excited about a new Mikey Clark album than a new Axe album. I would tell my wife, like, can you believe that the new Mikey Clark album's coming out next week?
The new Mikey Clark.
And she's like, I don't fucking care. Stop telling me that. I don't fucking care about Mikey Clark.
Like, how could you not care, bitch?
And I was like, oh, you'll care. Just you wait. Mikey Clark is the name of my dick.
Now, my question is, with this new ICP album, that is going to be produced by Mikey Clark, right?
Supposedly. Billy claims they're the ones that lit a fire under Mike's ass to get him back in the studio making wicked shit.
Interesting.
I would love to know, like, I would have loved to, like, I guess here's what I'm trying to say. I'd be interested to know, like, what Mikey Clark knew about Axe prior to working with them. And then I would like to know, like, I would love to see the look on his face when he first heard, like, what they did with one of his beats. Like, he had to be, like, so fucking taken aback, right?
Yeah, I'd imagine. But I would imagine it's hard to tell because
he's such a pro.
He's
like, yes, that's what this song deserves.
Yeah,
Fine.
if I were Mikey Clark, I'd be like, I want to work. I would go to them. Like, I'm thinking like he found them. You know, he chose them.
Yeah, maybe there's
like,
something
I
there.
want to work with you guys.
Yeah, maybe.
Or maybe they hit him up and then, you know, he checked him out and was like, yes, I do want to do this. And then, like, you sit down with him and then you start crafting it all together, you know. And that's what I would think. Again, directing. I got these beats. This is how I want these melodies to sound on these hooks.
Yeah.
Can you do that? Can you write, like, this style of a hook that I would like to hear on my beat, you know?
Yeah, I would love to sit down and ask them like these kind of questions. I'd love to sit down with Mike. He's my number one person I'd love to talk to.
Me too. I mean, when you create like a masterpiece of a piece of music, the last thing you want to do is give it to somebody and they, you know,
waste it.
They fuck it up, honestly. Yeah. Like, the hook doesn't fit. Like, there's no, they just don't know how to operate on the music you laid out for them.
That's honestly probably why you don't hear about him working with people that much. He's probably like picky, you know, like I ain't fucking letting them mess with my beats, you know?
Yeah.
That person wants my beat, $50,000.
Yeah. So I would.
If I was Mikey Clark, that's what I'd be doing.
Yeah, and if I were him, I'd be like, yeah, I work with you, but you're gonna. I want it to sound like this. Yeah. Like, write whatever you want. I have potential. You know, I have faith that you'll write some cool shit, but like, I want it to flow and sound like this.
Yeah.
And that's for the song as a whole. That's not just because he wants it to, he wants it this certain way. No, that's just to make that's to add to the entire song. It services the song.
Yeah.
But yeah, God Damaged is a great.
This song,
fucking fantastic song.
This is a song that I kind of like slept on the first dozen times I listened to.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it, but this song doesn't really like stand out as being like exceptional. But when you listen to the lyrics, like you just like feel their power, dude. Like Billy's like talking about rising from the ocean, his wings spreading, stomping. It's so fucking dope, dude.
Yeah, and again, it doesn't stand out like an exceptional song, but it is, and
yes,
it fits with the album as a whole. Like I said, the score of a movie.
Yes.
You know what I mean? This would be like the ultimate destruction scene.
Yes.
You know?
To me, this is the
Yeah.
title track. This is Gods of Evil Rise, the track right here. You know, like,
Yeah.
that song fucking rules.
Yeah, and it's and I was going to mention this earlier. It's not a choice that I hate, but there is a certain choice on what they did with the mixing of the vocals on this album. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you mean like how they double the
Everything's
vocals?
distorted.
Yeah, I
like,
think that's an Axe thing.
Yeah. Everything's distorted. And I didn't know if it was them or if Mikey Clark had something to do with it, but yeah, it's very little of like
Raw
clarity.
voice. Like this song is a good example of one that, like, listen to Joe. Very clear, no effects.
A lot of reverb.
Maybe some reverb, yes.
There's reverb on that for sure.
But it doesn't have like the weird, like, crunchy
Yeah.
effects like they do in a lot
Yeah.
of their songs. Some of their songs, like, they do it so much that it's hard to hear the lyrics.
Yeah. And I will say that there is some of that on this album. Like,
Yeah.
you have to listen to it multiple times to hear everything.
Yeah, and that's a good criticism of Axe. And I don't even think it's necessarily it might not even be a bad thing. It's just their style, but it, like you said, it does take several listens
Yeah.
sometimes to catch some of those lyrics. When, I mean, you could have just, instead of 80%, let's put 50%. You know what I mean? Like,
I also think it's like an instrument. It's almost like they don't care. It didn't matter when I first listened to this that I heard every single thing. All the song, it sounded good, and I was like, man, this sounds good. This sounds like their voices are just like a chunky electric guitar added to the mix. Like, you don't have to hear every single lyric, but then, you know, the more you listen to it, you'll hear it. But yeah, I can see people going, well, I don't know what the hell they're saying.
here's a good example of this. This next lyric, if you can figure this out, mad kudos to you, because I cannot figure it out. I was talking to Mushy Mustard and Robbie about this lyric right here. Let me back it up just a second so you can get the build up. This is Lee Carver's verse on Make Believe. Right here. All right. He said, let's back that up for a second. He said, you didn't. I think he says you didn't scare enough people, but the last one, which doesn't make sense. You didn't scare enough people, but the last one, something, cop a handgun. Listen to it again. No fucking clue.
Yeah.
But I hit everyone else and go cop a handgun. I don't even know what that means. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And
So-
a lot of it is that style of rap, you know. Yeah, it's just like you're stringing everything together so closely.
Lee Carver also, like, I think, and you know, you could say this is a criticism, but I think this might be just be a style, because I don't think it sounds bad. It's just something I've noticed, but he does it a lot where, like, he'll end his thought in the middle of the next bar, but continue the bar. You know,
Yeah.
you didn't scare enough people, but the last one, then that's the end of the thought. Kill everyone else and go cop a handgun to get someone good fun. Like,
Yeah.
like it's just the way he structures some of his verses. It always sounds good, and it never sounds like he's shoving too much in or anything. But it's just a very, like, unorthodox
Yeah.
style. Let's just say that. I like it.
Yeah.
It makes it hard to sometimes understand the point he's trying to make.
Yeah.
Because, like, before you could even grasp what he's talking about, it's on to the next one.
Yeah, and again, that's a, you know, that would be like the only kind of criticism I would have for the, like, some of the rap style on this album. But it's, again, it all sounds good. So, and to me, as a whole, it doesn't matter. You know,
Sure,
if I
sure.
miss some of the lyrics, it's fine.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I mean, that's how ICP's always been, too. Like, there's still lyrics of ICP's I'm just guessing at.
Yeah.
But I literally couldn't pull it out of my ass right now because I've been saying
Yeah.
what's probably the wrong lyrics for 25 years. And
Yeah.
I don't even know.
But I think they are, they're definitely more like, I want you to hear everything I say.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Someone like Gmo, I want you to hear every single thing I say.
Yes.
I don't want, I'm not gonna string it together in a way that you're not gonna be. It sounds good. It sounds good, but are you gonna be able to make everything out? Probably not.
Yeah. Like it sounds good. You're getting your point across, but stylistically, you probably could have put a little more swagger, rewrote a little bit, put some words here, put some words there, smooth it out a little. But again, I get it. It's a stylistic choice. I don't have a problem with it. It's just it's a little maybe rough on the ears at first,
And like this album, I've said before, is kind of like set up like a rock album. The same way I say it's a setup kind of like a cinematic movie, a cinematic piece. It's like that with a rock album as well, to where like you don't always need to care what the verse is in a rock song, what they're saying exactly. You love it. The hook you can get. Maybe you don't even know what the hell they're talking about. How many rock songs, you don't really know what the fuck they're talking about, but you love to rock out to it.
Metallica's one of my favorite bands. I don't know what any of their songs about.
Yeah.
Literally none of them. I think most of them are about war.
Yeah. So, and I think that's how they are as well. You don't always have to give a shit what the hell they're talking about.
No, that's a good point. What do you think? This is the only like long skit on the whole album.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean,
I think it's done really well. I like the idea of the guy going to confessional and like a demon is actually talking to him and telling him to finger lady's ass and shit. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. And I swear I've seen something like this before on a movie or like maybe even like Tales from the Crypt or some shit.
Maybe they got some inspiration from somewhere. I love the voices and shit they do too. It's really funny. He's like, "Father!"
And I can't be. I think he says "Heavens to Betsy" again in this skit. He's like, "Heavens to Betsy."
He's like, "Oh yeah, he does." He's like, "Heavens to Betsy." No, Father.
I know. So I'd like to go back through the catalog and see how many skits "Heavens to Betsy" gets used. Heavens to Betsy. Let me get a clip of that.
Yeah, that's that music.
Heavens to Betsy. My grandma said that shit all the time growing up, so that was a big one for me.
DC said his favorite song was "Make Believe," which by the way was the last song, but that "Make Believe" rules. I think it's as Mikey Clark of a song as it gets. Like that last song is fantastic. It's one of their kind of fucking around songs, but this song, by the way, though, "Heard the Horde," this is also one of my favorites. I love this song.
One.
It's so dope, dude. This song's all about like, we're getting the fucking horde together. We're gonna fuck shit up.
Yeah,
we're hurting, and we heard you.
So I can imagine that the God's damaged is like where everything, they rise, come out, right?
Yeah.
They come out of hell, essentially.
Yes.
And now, am I correct in assuming the rest of these songs are like what's happening after that happened?
Maybe. I mean, I think like, I haven't thought about it like that. I haven't looked at it as like a theme in that way.
Or do you think this is like a chronological order of like what's happening?
I don't think
the
so.
whole album.
I don't think so. I think it's just all about the experience. But because like this song is about, you could say that, sure, God damage, yeah. Then "Make Believe" it's about kind of about heaven being fake and bullshit. Like they're just okay. They wrecked the earth. Now they're saying you're not going to heaven. Heard the horde. Now we're getting the people together. Yeah. Then the saints is about. It's literally just talking about them being the gods of their new fucked up world. So you could say that, and then "From the Heart" is them like saying how much they love everyone for helping them do that.
Yeah.
we can make it work.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, right here, by the way, ICP reference, 100%. Let's check this out. I don't know if anybody else has mentioned this. Let's go back. Lee Carver, once again. If you can pay attention through his weird cadence, here we go. Right here. He said, "Where'd your guts go? Found them on the ceiling fan, man." That's got to be an ICP reference, right?
Yeah. He found him on the ceiling fan, man.
Fan, not on the ceiling. So maybe
Yeah.
he could get away with saying it wasn't a reference because it was a ceiling fan.
I'm sure.
Guts on the ceiling, though. Come on.
I'm sure he even
the same bar.
Yeah, even if he didn't think that, or even if he didn't like set out to make that reference, like when he wrote that, you know, he thought of Guts on the ceiling for sure.
100%.
But like, if that's it, if that's the only thing you're getting from Member Berries of ICP in
From
this
the whole album, yeah.
yeah, I mean, like, there and that's one of the things I respect the most about them and about this album is like there isn't anything.
Yeah, they're not out to like make juggalos happy.
Yeah.
You know, that's not what their goal is with this shit.
It's literally just horrorcore music.
I mean, at the highest level.
Yeah, horrorcore at the highest level, using some of the same template that, you know, the forefathers did, which was wicked, crazy, wicked shit, but also putting funny characterizations in there.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's really all you need to make this genre of music really work for the masses, to really work for like a broader audience.
Like Sharif said, there's nothing overt and pandery. It's oozing out of them.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, to hit a broader audience, all you need is those two sides of the coin, man. And I think they got a good balance of it.
Billy's still awkward socially, I like how he does that shit. He's like, they're like, throw that shit in, I love that shit. I don't know, it just makes you sound so smooth. Like,
But yeah, this is another one of those songs where like that distortion on their voice is, but
lot,
you can
yeah.
hear it. You can hear it really well because of the beat in the back. The beat is not so busy that it's drowning everything out.
that's the key, really, is like you gotta have that balance. If you want to fucking put a bunch of shit in your voice, all right, leave the beat more alone then.
Yeah, I mean, it's just mixing too. You gotta make sure you mix the beats right, man. You don't mix those beats right, they're gonna fucking completely muddy up your vocals.
And I'm sure Mikey Clark did all the mixing, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think there was somebody else too. Produced and mixed by Mikey Clark, mastered by Jim Kisling.
Okay.
Kiesling.
Okay.
But so yeah, mixing and mastering, like once you get into the weeds of that shit, it's pretty much, I mean, it's all the same shit, but you know, you can mixing is really where it all is. That's where all the magic is. Mastering is just going, okay, let me put a little bit on this, and then.
And Sharif did say he agrees that it was a reference. This song rules. This is another one I kind of like didn't pay much attention to at first, but like listen to the lyrics. This shit is tight as fuck.
Yeah, I like this one a lot.
Like this is a very like it's kind of slow and like you may not understand what the fuck they're saying at first just because it's weird, but they're just talking about them being they're the saints. They're the fucking gods, you know? Oh, here's another lyric I can't figure out right here. No clue.
This is where the distortion can really hurt. Because if you know you're this style of rapping with that distortion can really muddy it up.
Yes, when he does that gravelly shit, you know,
Yeah.
it's a little tricky.
It sounds good though. I'm not gonna hate it. Does sound good.
What do you think that reminds me of something? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yeah, like that's like off something off Ringmaster.
Yeah, hear it. That reminded me of Southwest Song.
And I think all that is like a sound effect, and then you can mute it, or you can
He's just going like, ding,
you can
ding,
cut it, yeah, with like a mixer.
It sounds dope every time. I love
Yeah.
it. Saints of death. So it's time to collect, take the soul from your eyes. I'm the overseer, I'll be overseeing your demise. Still, I'm capable of much worse. Tell me it isn't true. Look how slow Billy goes.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, it fits this beat.
So hard. I love Billy when he does his like when he drags his words out like that. I don't know why. Like I like that shit. He's like, "There's no us without you." That's just so tight.
Saints.
And the hook, I keep hearing "All in Hell Praise Hell," but on Genius, Mushy Mustard put "All in Hell Praise Zool." Give thanks to the saints. It's hard to.
Yeah, I think on Let It Burn, on the hook, do they say "Let It Burn" on the hook? Because it sounds like it says "Let Burn," like it, like I don't hear an "it." It's like "Let."
I think they say "Let it burn" the first time, then they say "Let them burn." So maybe it's kind of like "Let them," you know. Maybe it's kind of
burn. Like
let them. You know.
I'm not hearing like a in between. I'm not hearing like a word in between. Let it like let and burn.
I'm gonna go back
on that. Which this is one of my favorite songs in the album.
Oh yeah, this song, by the way, I know we kind of talked through it, but I do want to say this. Like when I was listening to this album for the first time on my way to work, after I listened to it. Yeah, I think that was my first. I hadn't gone to the show yet. I don't remember. Nevertheless, let's do it on my way to work the day it came out. Yeah, it was before the show. Point is, I got all the way to "Let It Burn," and like I was in my car, like when I got to work, that's what song was playing. I like sat there, just let it play. That's when I realized like they're onto something here.
Yeah,
these fucking guys know what they're doing.
I will say that this first third or half or whatever you'd call this is probably my favorite part of the album.
I'd agree. Yeah, definitely. The first half of the album's incredible.
First half of the album, I'll even throw all the way up to "God Damaged."
Yeah.
But yeah, man, all the way up to fucking "Let It Burn" is like top fucking tier shit.
Yes. I just wanted to hear the hook real quick.
Telling me as they bleed, and now the choir haunts my mind, and every night I hear them sing. If you see a church on fire, let it burn. God preach a
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's saying "let it" and then "let them," and I can hear that.
Let it burn. Okay,
Yeah.
so they're doing
Yeah.
"Let it
Yeah, here I go.
burn." Okay, now I hear it. Yeah.
I think it's getting kind of
Okay.
stepped on by the echo
Yeah,
a little
yeah,
bit. And
that's
that's
what
why.
it is.
All right.
Let it burn. So I'm thinking it's going "Let it burn." Let it burn.
I see. Yeah, they're
That's
like,
let it burn.
yeah.
You're fucked, toneless and eyeless, skeleton stuck, screaming in silence, a brave new world.
Yeah, I need to pick up their discography on get a physical. 'Cause I don't have anything else but this album.
right now you might. I mean, I don't know if Twist is still doing their half off media sale, but they still got the 4 M&E albums on their site.
Definitely want to get Mausoleum.
Get
I
Mausoleum, Almighty, and both Necronomicrons.
I'll go back and listen to Mausoleum. I might. I don't know. That one was really good.
You'll say you might like.
I
it more
really
than this?
like that. I really like that album.
I know it's been a while since I've listened to Mausoleum because I've been consuming this, and then I was listening to the Almighty for a couple weeks before this. Just kind
Yeah,
of.
I might go back and.
It's really good.
Yeah, I
man.
might go back and listen to that one because I don't remember anything about that one.
Oh.
Did we ever go through that one?
We did do the Almighty.
Yeah, I don't remember anything about it.
I wanted to mention this. DC pointed this out to me. Chris brought it up on our last show. He was wondering if Joey Black's verses regarding like his first kill. He mentions his first kill in multiple songs.
Yep.
He was wondering if there was like lore or a thread with that. And DC said, go back and listen to the Almighty on I think Forever Face. Joe's verse on that. He talks about. He's like, I remember it was a couple on a camping trip. He's like, whatever, took the axe and beat him with the head with it. But anyways, then he goes back on Until We Meet. He does say, whatever, I can't remember the lyric right now, but he does say, he reiterates that it was a couple.
Okay.
So he remembers.
Yeah, it was a wife and a husband, something like that.
Yeah.
I remember the first time it was a wife and a husband,
yeah,
or something like that.
Yeah, he said, it was a wife and blah, 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 husband to be. I beat to death and they sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So yeah,
That's cool, man.
Very cool.
Pulling little threads. You know, nothing crazy, but like just little threads to keep everything together.
yeah, man. Because I mean, that wouldn't be as cool if it didn't match. It would be like, he's just doing it for willy nilly. But knowing that it matches, it makes you be like, I appreciate that, man. I like that.
So, as opposed to like ICP, where they play so many different characters, in their music and themselves.
Yes.
They'll be themselves, but they'll also play different characters.
Yeah.
Nothing ever matches. It doesn't fucking matter. As where they're playing the same characters, and they're pulling little threads through it the entire time.
That's what I think. Yeah,
Okay.
it's pretty cool.
It's like my only purpose is to write something dope, but every word I write is to my suicide note. Let's see how deep this deep it can go. And sink this ink pen deep in my throat.
Sink this ink pen. I like that part too.
Type bar.
Thought I fell in love, but I'm just a dumb fuck. Just a fuck up, so I stay fucked up. No pad on my lap, got death in my heart. Now refer back to that second bar.
Which that was the one where he said, I had to go back and listen because I was like, what the fuck is the second bar? Just so you guys, this is it. Every word I write is to my suicide note. So, just
the trigger and I'm about to pull it.
I mean, this song's straight Mikey Clark, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
DC also said that he said this song was like renditions of reality. It passed me by and nothing's left. All fucked and made a baby.
Yeah.
I have a different perspective though. I'll say, while yes, I do get the. I mean, it's a perfect last song. This had to be the last song, you know. But I don't get those vibes as much as I get.
I get kind of Miracles a little bit of Miracles with the kind of the little electronic vibey shit.
Okay. I was gonna say, what's the song? It's hard to. I had it in my mind, but it's the song on Mirror Mirror, where Twisted's singing to us. What is it? I have to look it up now.
Oh yeah, I don't remember.
I had it in my mind. I didn't make a note of it.
Haven't listened to Mirror Mirror in so fucking probably the last time we listened to it, if we ever did it on the show. That was the last time I listened to it.
The song "You're the Reason."
Okay.
Show me the reason why we do the things.
Okay, yeah.
You know, because like it gave me more of those vibes, and I don't even think Mikey Clark did Mirror Mirror. I mean, just like the subject matter, like from the heart. Well, like Pass Me By, Nothing's Left, and whatever the other one.
Renditions of reality.
Yes, those all sure have their own like themes, but this song specifically is more like to the fans.
Yes.
Where none of those songs are. Those songs are more just about life and reflecting on life and whatever. Where this song is telling you, the fans, how important you are to them. And I like Billy's verse on this. I do want to say this. He has a lyric I want to point out. Let's listen to it.
Things always change, but no matter what mental state we stay in, it's all about the journey and not the destination. Money is nice and so is admiration, but those come and go. So my main motivation is to inspire those who need it the most.
And the outcast all creepy and gross. Like, why the fuck am I 40 years old and still relating to that line?
I don't think you ever not relate to that, man. That's why this music is.
You know, it's like it
transcends through the genre.
That's what
and the age, gaps. I mean,
that line, like it points out, like, you know,
dude,
that they get it, you know, like, and I get it,
and that type of shit gets worse. It does. I mean, they say like, oh, when you get older, you won't have to worry about. No, man, the world perceiving you as creepy and gross and whatever, whatever negative shit, creepy, gross, broke, you know, you're not this, you're not that, you'll never be. That shit gets worse as you get older.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People judge you more. Like that never goes away. That's not just like isolated to when we're young.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's like, I mean, I'm glad you said that, because you are right. You know, where I guess I'm coming from, like thinking like that, I'm like I could relate to ICP saying that when I was 15 years old.
Yeah.
You know, but then and obviously through the years, I've probably felt the same. Just it's not as as in your face as when Billy Obey says it again on another fucking Mikey Clark beat. This is for the outcasts. They called creepy gross. Rob
Yeah.
over here like, God damn it. He knows me. He knows me.
Yeah, that
They
shit.
get it, you know?
Yeah, they get it. It doesn't change. I mean, that shit doesn't ever go away. And people are worse now than they have ever been. And yeah, so like this type of outcast horrorcore underground music is. It is mainstream in a way to where a lot of it's mainstream in a way to where everybody, people know about this all over the world. This kind of music. There's little bits of people that know about this type of shit all over the world. It may not reach the amount of people at one time, you know what I mean? But it's there. It's this type of shit will always be there. And I think it reaches people because it's needed. It's just one of those things. It's like there's a gap, and I've actually been writing somewhat about that type of concept. Like, what if it wasn't here? You know what I mean? Like, what if the shit was not here? What if it didn't exist? What if it just disappeared? Like, what would it be? Where would it? And then when you think about it, it's like, it feels like it's impossible for this to not exist. This
Yeah,
type
'cause
of shit to not exist.
What would be in its place?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It has to be here. Like, it's here for a reason. This kind of stuff is here for a reason. It touches people for a reason. It always has.
And it resonates from 13 to 40
Yeah.
and beyond.
Exactly. No, I think it will resonate past 40. I mean, like, this will never end. This type of shit will never end. People love horror. People love comedy. People love feeling part of something, and that's what this music does.
Yeah.
It makes you feel a part of something through horror, comedy, theatrics, and giving something to people for them to believe in. It doesn't have to be like, oh, I believe in all this shit's real.
Yeah.
It's just you believe in a community of people.
That feel the same.
Yeah. So, and again, there's been many people, and we've talked about this shit many times over, but it's just.
But
it doesn't end. So it's really you'll always have something to talk about with this.
I think one thing that's is helping me. It's helped the other Zooligans prior to me joining a Zooligan, being a Zooligan, is this shit is just it's very good. Like, it's undeniable. I don't know. I don't know what the words I'm trying to get at here. Hold on, let me think.
I will say this: my version of it has cuts in it.
Really?
To whoever mixed this, like, I didn't know if it was like on every single album, but mine has cuts in it to where you hear the rain stop and it's just silence, and then it picks back up.
Oh, really? I haven't noticed that.
Yeah.
I'll have to go back and listen to that. Yeah, this last track is kind of weird. It's just like waves of blood and shit. It's the aftermath. And then you get this little skit at the end where the people come back. It's kind of funny.
He said something about, like, I got some blood in my butt, or what do you say? Something in my bowl. They're just being funny. They're like, we need to be on a pontoon or something like that. They said.
Yeah.
I like the color of the water. He said it was like period blood.
Yeah.
I'm serving on the blood, dude. Yeah, but like all of that whole album that hit all those crazy wicked serious notes, and then at the very end they're just like, I'm surfing on blood, dude.
Yeah, just dudes like having fun.
Like, just again, that's the recipe that reaches the most amount of people.
Yeah, it's making fun of shit that is supposed to
Yeah.
make you feel the worst you can.
Mhm.
Like it's taking that tragedy and laughing at it.
Which is what ICP did and brought to the mainstream. Made it all the way to the mainstream by doing that. Taking death and like the worst things about humanity and just making fun of it and making people feel making you helping you not be afraid of it. Essentially, I guess.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing to be afraid of, and I think that's what this is. You know.
Sure. Oh, I know what I was gonna say is, I think one thing that's so attractive about Zool to me, and I hope I can speak for other Zooligans, is that, and I know we've touched on this a little bit about how Camp Zool and these like shows we've been going to are like has more of that close knit kind of small feeling, you know, and I think that's what's been missing, like that, like that's something we did have that at one point, and with us coming in and out of the community, ICP growing, pop culture life in 3 decades, it's that the Juggalo community is not the one that we fell in love with, and this isn't because of Ouija, it's not because of anything, it's just because of time. It's just time and the amount of people that have caught on to how dope our shit is.
Yep.
And I don't fault them for it. It's dope. Of course you want to fucking be a part of it.
Yep.
But that's what's appealing to me so much about this shit is that I'm feeling that again, you know? Like I'm going to these shows and seeing the same faces and like I'm feeling like and it's even better because you're so close to the artists.
Yep.
The fucking dudes on their label have been to my house, you know what I mean? It's like that's fucking cool. Like like being in this niche part of this niche community has been fucking awesome, and I'm so glad that like it's finally opened itself to me, you know? Like I feel like I'm there's so much to catch up on.
Yeah,
that's how I feel. It's great. I really am
yeah,
enjoying it.
And for people like us that like, you know, we're out of the community, it's very hard, you know, when you get a certain age, it's very hard to draw the aging mind into something like this again.
Yeah.
Like how we were drawn into ICP when we were younger. It was such a big deal. It was such a big part of your lives. It's very hard to redo that.
I never thought I would have that feeling.
Yeah, it's
again.
very hard to redo that. And just for that to just for you to say that, them to be able to do that, I mean, that's a big thing. That's, and you know, and I'm feeling the same way too. Going to the shows, you know, seeing them live, the last show we went to, and then being able to listen to this album and like put both of the aspects of their art together, the performances, the album together. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a connective thing, and yeah, I feel like just being at the shows, I feel like how I did when I was a teenager, like back in the day, you know, like maybe not ICB shows because for me they were kind of always big, but definitely like the Twisted and Blaze shows back in the day. Very small venues, tight knit people. You'd see the same people you'd see at the ICP shows, just not as many.
Dude, we hung out with Twisted and Blaze and ABK just like we hung out with Funtime guys last couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Isn't that nuts?
Yeah, just walking around.
Just hanging out.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude.
I mean, so ICP shows were always big to me. I mean, they were doing like the big shit, especially in the Jekyll Brothers era. But then they kind of went back to doing like the Newport and shit like that. But
yeah, it's like they got like I mean, again, it was obvious they were going to blow up, and it took forever for everybody to finally see the genius, you know. But and you know, most people still don't. They still laugh at it. But point is, like, that's why ICP is so inaccessible now. That's why you got to pay for fucking VIP just to get within 5 feet of them. You know, it's whack. That said, like, I mean, I know all these artists are doing their own VIPs and stuff too, but it's different. You know, like this. Yeah. These guys are like trying to make a living. Like ICP, they could deal without the couple $100 from the VIPs.
Yeah. I was gonna say, you know, I like before I would have said that, you know, AXE would never be able to play the Newport and fill that, or you know, now I'm not so sure. Maybe, give it a couple more years. I don't, you know, I'm still leaning towards they'll probably never be able to feel like, you know, play like the Newport, or you know, have a draw crowd that big in one city. But
you know, I agree. I think that would be hard. But I was looking at in my ICP chest over there. I was looking through like there's like old like circus magazines and shit in there. Can you imagine like who would be in those now? Could you imagine like would AXE be in like one of those? Like, are they big enough for even like a circus magazine or a murder dog? You know, like
yeah, probably. I would
Think so?
imagine, yeah. But again, it's so different now. You
I
know,
know.
those magazines is what shot people to stardom, stuff like that, and being on like little things that shot people to stardom. But it's not like that now, man. Entertainment is so big. It's such a vast universe of so many
separated.
things, and it's so separated. And there's people out there. There's shit out there that's like gets billions of hits I don't even know about.
Oh yeah,
But back in the day, we would have known.
Yeah, you're right.
Even if you didn't like it, you would have heard about it.
I'll see like these fucking artists. I'll randomly stumble upon like some trending dude on Twitter or something. Like, who the fuck's this guy? I like go and he has like 4.5 million followers. Like, never heard this guy's name in once in my fucking life. He's some like Russian DJ or something.
So yeah, that it's just you. Things are so different now. That you can't compare entertainment the way it used to be. You just can't. ICP got grandfathered in, and that's why they are where they're at, because they started early enough to get grandfathered in the 90s, and they did it the old school way where they got signed, worked with labels, blew up, made it to the mainstream, and that was enough to keep them in the fucking the public mind forever.
Yes.
But pretty much nobody can do that now, unless you are literally the biggest thing that has ever happened, which is like they get billions of fucking hits and they play the Super Bowl and shit like that. You know what I mean? But that's the only way you're going to ever find an artist that everybody knows.
Yeah, where they transcend.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. They'd have to be that fucking big.
But ICP's damn near there.
They really are.
And they never had to fucking play the Super Bowl but they pretty much like you can talk to people my mom's age all the way down to kids and they know who ICP is.
Yep, you ain't lying. They really put their mushroom stamp on this generation, that's for sure.
It'd be nice to see a group like AXE get to a place like that, but I just don't think it's ever going to be possible in this world to be like that anymore.
Yeah, I agree. That said, I hope that AXE is able to. I mean, I hope they're going to keep it up. I hope they keep making enough money from their merch and Camp Zool and these albums so that they can just keep it rolling, because I would hate nothing more than for them to get discouraged because like they would never. No, don't get me wrong. I doubt that's something they strive for. But my point is like, you can only go like, I don't know how they might still have day jobs or shit. I don't fucking know. I truly don't know at this point, but they're probably a little beyond that. But my point is like, they're not making like millions of dollars, right? We can all say that. So I hope that there's something always in it for them to keep it up at this level. I hope that like, because this album doesn't hit Billboard charts, they're not like, we don't got to try that hard on the next one. No, keep it fucking up, Zool. Keep this train rolling. I know you're going to, but that's what I want. I want it. I want to see it.
Again, that's another reason why I am so impressed by it, is because I mean the incentive to do it is just to do it.
Yeah.
It's just to be, just to want to do it, And that's what you got to be. I mean that's what you have to be anyway.
Yeah.
Whether the money comes or not, you know what I mean? Something will come. If you do that, something will come. Whether it be money, whether it be cemented in having a legacy, cemented in an underground culture like this.
Yeah.
Something will come that's going to be, it's going to satisfy you.
Well, I think if they hadn't already done it with their, fantastic catalog, I think this is like their 6th album or some shit. Like, if nothing else, like this album will cement them in like underground history.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, to me, it's a beautiful album. It's a classic.
It's an instant classic. I'll say it's one of the tightest albums I've heard in years. It's so fucking dope. I can't think of anything tighter than it at the moment. It's so goddamn good.
And I'm not putting it on, this is a good horrorcore album, or this is this is just a good album to me. Yeah. It's a good album in the vastness of this entire culture.
I'll put this in one of my favorite albums of all time. It's that fucking good, man. Like it's really it's hard to say stuff like that because it's so new, but like I think it really is that special. Like, I think it's underrated.
It's got a pulse that won't die, like this will last. I think this will last the time. You know what I mean? It will stand against time and be good when you look back on this. So.
Oh wait, Robbie said, you said top 5 ever last week. Did I? That might have been when I was drunk, and it might be. It still might be top 5 ever. But now that I'm not drunk, it's hard. It's really hard to say some shit like that. I mean, it really might truly be. I mean, Malenko is my number 1 album. Just to put it in perspective. Like, I'm not very cultured. I don't have like Beatles shit in my top albums. It's all like, it's ICP, maybe a Twisted album, maybe a Dark Lotus. Red Tails is in my top 5, and then maybe this now. Yes, so that'd be a good solid top 5. Malenko, Riddlebox, Wraith, fucking Green Book, and Gods of Evil Rise. I think that's a solid top 5.
That's a solid top 5.
Oh shit! Yeah.
And only one of them not produced by Mikey Clark.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, all those albums are fucking. I could easily put in my top 5.
I mean, Red Tails was somewhat produced by Mikey Clark.
Yeah. I mean, all those. Even if I'm like putting other shit in there, like some of my other favorite bands from different genres and stuff, I would still. But ICP's right up there with them.
Oh yeah, dude. That's why we're here.
ICP and just albums from. If any album that comes from this culture is that good, it doesn't matter. I don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna be like, oh, it's horrorcore culture, so it doesn't belong. Nah. It's music.
Yeah, it's music. It's dope. It's at a high level, and it's fun, man. It makes you feel good and happy.
Yeah. Did we hear? Is there any news on them being at the gathering or?
I don't think so. I haven't heard any. That would be so fucking cool, dude. That would be so cool. So dope. I mean, we did have Funtime and Sun last year, right? Or Funtime maybe wasn't last year. That was the year before. I don't know if Funtime performed last year. I can't remember.
I wasn't there last year to see it, but I know they were the year before.
Yeah, definitely the year before.
Yeah.
I think Clockwork E maybe performed. I don't remember. Anyways, point is, we've had the other 2 members of LLE have performed at the gathering. I mean, I assume M&E would have been the only thing holding AXE back from being there, right? Other than maybe they just don't have any interest. But I would like to think that they would want to put that on their bucket list. I know they've performed as the Underground Prop Squad or whatever, but getting to perform as AXE would be pretty legendary, right?
Yeah. They're still officially blocked by M&E artists.
Still officially
Maybe
blocked. I mean, is there an official block list? I mean, is there? Because why is Sun allowed, and why is why is Mikey Clark allowed, but Buckshot's not, and he's not even an M&E artist? Come on, that list is very
sus.
It's a very sus list for sure.
Fucking sus as shit.
He said they played every year from 2015 until signing to M&E. Oh man, yeah, we need to get him back now that I'm into him. We need to get him back. You know, I'm gonna go dig up some of their old shit and listen to it. See how I want to hear shitty Zool. I need it. I need shitty Zool so I can understand. Like, yeah, they've really done it.
Shitty Zool. So like shitty, but they weren't always Zool, right?
No, they were called the Maniacs. AXE.
And it was still.
I think it was
them 3.
It was just the 2 of them. Even when they started Zool, it was just 2 of them.
Okay.
Like Head of Horns and Necronomicron, the first one, are just and maybe Psycho, are just the 2 of them. And then they add Lee Carver later.
Okay.
He joined, I think, with the Almighty when they joined M&E.
Interesting.
Anyways,
see that interests me too. Like just at like changing the lineup.
Yeah, that's so weird.
Like
right?
that's unheard of with like a lot of times in this genre of music.
Yeah, to add a full-fledged like third ass member, you know, that's pretty wild.
Like you'd fucking our heads would blow off if fucking ICP did that or Twisted did that.
Yeah, no shit. Oh, nice. Robbie said he's got me. Probably got some old AXE. Thanks, bro. I'm gonna check that shit out.
Fuck yeah.
All right, man, we did it.
All right. Well, this, like I said, this is our first one. I definitely want to go back and do more of these and add some shit to it. You know, not just, you know, add a little bit of sugar and spice during the reviews here, but keep it old school for the most part and actually really go into some of these albums.
Yeah, man. And we'll again, these podcast episodes like this, I'll put them out on the main feed eventually, but we want to give members something. So this is it for right now, but we're going to be having more stuff added. So promise we'll make your $5 worth it. You'll get $5 worth of. If you get a laugh, I think that's worth $5 to me. But I guarantee you'll get a laugh.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have ideas. You know, like live drawing on some of the behind the wall stuff.
Yeah, man. You could just do like a live drawing where you just talk to people and shit. People would like that.
Do some live drawing, listen to some music, talk to people, go back and maybe do some other albums that we never really got to look at closely.
And you know, I wanted there are 3 tiers to our membership. It's what I call it. Deckheads is the top tier, obviously $5 tier. Then One of Us is the second tier. It's for $3. You get access to a Discord or special Discord, which I haven't made yet. And the reason I brought it up is because I'm going to make a poll where people can pick what album we do.
Yeah,
next.
exactly. We need to do that.
So members will be able to pick what albums we will be reviewing on these kind of episodes. So I think that's pretty cool, right?
And then we'll display the names of the members and stuff on the pod, on the Sunday shows and shit.
I'm gonna have anyone who's a member. I didn't get a chance to do it right before the show because we didn't have much time. But come next Sunday, you'll see your name down here at the little scrolling thing. I'll have all your names on this little scrolling thing. Anyone who's a member will be here. I promise. So look forward to that. It's a little bonus, and you get to use some little emojis and shit like that. Once more people join, I'll be able to add more emojis. So get your friends to come in, and we'll all have a little party.
Yeah, we'll definitely add more than just reviews. So just keep tuned. We'll have some shit coming for sure.
Yeah, man. All right, man. You gonna shuffle the fuck up on out of here?
Yeah, we'll slide Gods of Evil Rise back into the dead.
Okay, we'll see y'all Sunday. Back